Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Cordant and we are back to continue our exploration of the alpha version of Dark Heresy. So in the previous episode we were in this area here which is called the Brown Marshes, and after having a bad fight against this mechanical tree area here, which we lost, we came this way, we met a friendly solitary Kroot, and then we also found a bunch of other Kroot fighting, I'm guessing other maddened Kroot or a different clan. I have not been reading enough the dialogue to understand what's happening. In any case, we beat the fight. We managed to keep Mr. Graktar alive barely. We almost killed him accidentally. But we also leveled up. Now, my idea for this video was to come into the video with pretty much all of the ideas already established in what I want to do, but I found I was wasting so much time going through all of it to then go over it again, because it might be interesting for people to know how these things work, that I might as well just look over this as we go. So the first thing I found, which I was very happy about, is that they are implementing a system similar to what we have in the Pathfinder games. So if you click over here, so basically when you say you want to level up, you get this screen. It's gonna give you like a brief summary of what you want to do right now. So at this archetype rank 4, the character can select their active combat abilities. So just like in Rogue Trader, I think it's same level or like level 5 or something. You get your active abilities and then you also have your talents. So you have these to choose from. He already came in with Guiding Light, which was actually kind of useful. I think it's something I would not choose for myself if I had picked up this character first, but it has turned out to be actually quite useful. But yeah, one thing I noticed is if you are in this screen and you click over here, you get something you typically have in the Pathfinder games, which is going to show you an expected progression of this character, as at least with this archetype, all the way until level 25. Now, I don't know if Dark Heresy is going to be the same thing as Rogue Trader or not. But in Rogue Trader you have an initial archetype, then you have a second archetype, and then you have a third archetype which is common for everybody. So the first archetype you pick whatever you want, the second archetype you pick whatever you want as long as it meets the requirements of the first archetype, and then the third one is the same for everybody. Not sure if Dark Heresy will be the same, I have no idea. But yeah, over here you'll see you have archetypes. I'm not sure what this line is actually supposed to be. New features. It does not show when I mouse over. I feel like it should. Yeah, it should. It should say even something like active ability, talent. Well, it does say right here, never mind. Okay, so you get to pick a new feature at level 1. It might be the specialization that he comes with, based on his psyker background or something. The skill choice was awareness. You get a couple more as you level up. And then you get talents, which is the more common thing to get. Modifications, I am not sure what this is. Upgrades, not sure what this is also. And then you also have active abilities. So you actually have a lot. I wonder if this is going to be for multiple archetypes or just for the one. But if it's just for the one... Nah, it can't be, right? It can't be. Nope, that's not what I wanted. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... We have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, okay. So this is for multiple archetypes. Yeah, I don't know what these are. Okay, in specialization we had the Way Seeker. Available modifications. Open the pathways or soul conduit. Okay. I don't want to spend too much time going over every single detail because there's going to be a lot to cover. But yeah, we have that. We had this here. We had telekinesis, which gave us a sail. And then we're going to have a bunch more things in terms of specialization. Yeah, so right now, we're going to pick an ability here. And what we have is Guiding Light, which we've seen being used up to this point. Way of the Unattainable. For 1 round, all attacks against the Wayseeker and their allies under the effects of guidance are made with a -10 plus target's morale percentage penalty to hit chance. So, just making our friends be a little bit safer, and if you remember, guidance is kind of like voice of command from officers, but it has infinite range, which I feels a little bit overpowered to me. But yeah, this is a very mobile unit, so maybe they're like, since it's gonna run around the battlefield a lot, might as well give him something with infinite range. I don't know, but it does seem a little bit too good for me. Telekinetic Dome. The Psyker concentrates on creating a telekinetic dome on the battlefield with a 4-cell radius lasting until the end of combat or until the Psyker decides to move the dome to another area. All units inside the dome gain the Psyker's willpower bonus plus veil degradation divided by 2, defense against range attacks from outside the dome's area of effect. So, a pretty obvious effect. The one thing to note here is that it does seem like this character, or at least these mystics, they want to have veil degradation high. Again, I am not sure if Dark Heresy has the same type of effects as you do on Rogue Trader, where you can have a bad effect from high veil degradation in which your character just dies and summons a demon. If that's the case, I would not want to play on a very high value of veil degradation, but who knows, it might be different here. But yeah, they do seem to favor having high veil degradation. Basically, a shield around your backline, making them safer against ranged attacks. Defense, I'm still not really sure how this works, but it does seem to give you like more of a miss chance for your enemies or something like that. Telekinetic Barrier. Until the start of the Psyker's next turn, the target unit gains 5 plus Psyker's willpower bonus percentage damage reduction, and 2 times the Psyker's int bonus plus veil degradation armor durability. So once again, veil degradation, very important. I am looking at this quite highly because of our Ogren friends. And then we have Coming Doom. By the way, this is 1 AP, 1 AP, 1 AP. Everything is 1 AP. Kind of strange, but sure. Coming Doom, the Wayseeker and allies under the effect of guidance gain 2 times the perception bonus vitals damage and 10 plus a target's morale percentage hit chance for 1 round. I am a little bit curious on how this works, because let's say if the enemy's morale is low, it would be something like, let's say, -10. If it's at -10 and you want to have your enemies on low morale, then this does nothing. It's 10 minus 10, you gain nothing. So this might work a little bit differently, I'm just not understanding how it's supposed to work. But yeah, out of these, I am looking at this one. Because I think I'm trying to have Ogren out in front. I'm being a little bit suicidal with him, as we saw in the previous video, but it's a lot of fun. So having him be there, blocking the way for our other characters behind, just being a large obstacle in front of the enemies, being able to keep him safe is going to be a priority for me. So I'm going to do this. It's also, note, 1 friendly creature, unlimited range. Once again, I find this to be a little bit OP. I'm curious if it also gets affected by line of sight or not. Next up, Talons. We're going to have a lot of stuff here, so get prepared. Offense. Implicit threat. If the Mystic uses a psychic power while in cover, the target's resistance and tenacity are reduced by 2 times Mystic's willpower until the end of the Mystic's turn. I'm just going to stop reading these amounts here. I'm just going to read the general idea of it. But yeah, reducing some of their defenses. Inevitability, attacking psychic powers deal more damage if you are shooting from 6 cells or further. Not what we're doing with this guy. Psyker's melee attacks and psychic powers deal more damage for every cell in a straight line between their turn starting and finishing points. Ah. That's cool because this guy has a lot of movement. Willpower bonus divided by 2. It's percent. And early in the game, percent is not as good as flat damage. Could still be interesting. But let's say if I move 10 cells and I have a willpower bonus of 4, I would have 20% more damage. It's not that interesting. Psych Weapon Master, force weapon attacks deal more damage. Combat flexibility, second strike. If the second weapon attack in a turn is of the same type, single, precise, area, or burst as the first one, its hit chance is increased by 18%. If it's of a different type, target's defense is reduced by 18. That's actually interesting. That is interesting. Follow-up blow. Second attack against same target a turn deals 18% more damage. Telekinetic Echo. Whenever the Psyker inflicts a negative effect or uses Assail, this is a skill we have, on a target, the enemy closest to that target that is not assailed must pass a Strength Tenacity test with a -10 minus Veil Degradation penalty or become assailed. Again, we want this high. I'll have to try and play around with high Veil Degradation. I do tend to like this type of effect where you hit somebody and then somebody else also gets something. Unstoppable Force. The Psyker deals more damage with psychic powers and solid projectile weapons. Okay. The character's next precise attack made after using psychic ability deals 12% more damage. This is based on something, of course. Awareness. Awareness? It's based on a skill. Interesting. And costs -1 AP. Does not stack. This is interesting. Imminent Lunge. Target's precise attacks ignore 15 damage reduction and defense. I also like this. There's a lot of cool stuff here. I'm thinking of going for this one just to kind of force myself to use more psychic abilities. I think it could be interesting. Survivability. So I also like that they group this by type, or you can also group it by source. It's kind of interesting. Ghostly Stride. After the Mystic uses a psychic power, they can move through allies and enemies until the end of their turn. Okay. Power Accumulation. Whenever the Psyker uses a psychic power, they gain a stackable 5 intelligence and willpower bonus, defense bonus until their next turn. Until their next turn is not very interesting, unless you could chain multiple of these together. Second Strike Defensive Technique. Each ranged weapon in the current set grants the character 5 defense against ranged attacks. Each melee weapon in the current set grants them 5 defense against melee attacks. Alright. Shield of Suffering. Whenever the Psyker inflicts a common negative effect or a assail effect on the enemy, the Psyker gains a stackable 1 defense bonus until their next turn. Again, not very interesting. Echoes of Guidance. For 1 round after the guidance effect ends, allies are still considered guided, but they do not retain the benefits of the effect. So if you are taking abilities to buff somebody that is guided, this would be a nice thing to have. Impartiality. For power targeting allies, the Wayseeker ignores negative morale, treating their morale as 0 or higher. Alright. For power targeting enemies, the Wayseeker ignores positive morale, treating it as 0 or lower. I'm guessing there might be something that makes the effect worse if they have high morale or something. Signs of Destiny. Allies in a certain radius around Larthir. Around Larthir? Is this specific to him? Gain a percentage bonus to all skill tests against critical effects. Okay. Morale, Soul Bonds. At the start of the Mystic's turn, Veil Degradation is changed, increased or reduced by an amount equal to the Mystic's morale. A lot of stuff around Veil Degradation here. Psychic, Immaterium Currents. At the start of the Mystic's turn, they gain 1 AP if Veil Degradation is 12 or more. And that is also very good. Let me just drink some water. I am back. This will mess up my throat. And Otherworldly Gaze, the psychic powers with a range of 2 or more cells have their range increased. This is actually very nice. Increased by something you can control. That is very powerful. Okay, I am gonna be offensive here. I will play around with this. I was thinking of this initially. Of like targeting somebody with a sail and then somebody else gets assailed as well. But I'm gonna go for this here. To make myself want to use more assail. And then also have this bonus. Okay, no summary, that's just it. Okay, let's look at my main character. We have Break Their Ranks. The officer increases damage dealt by an ally during their next turn by a percentage and twice this value against their armor. Huh. For each enemy within that ally's influence. This would be good. Well, it depends on how many fodder enemies you have. twice this value against their armor for each enemy. So it's the fellowship bone. Okay, wait. Sometimes I need to have some idea of how good this would be. My fellowship bonus right now is 6. This would be a 6%, 12% versus armor for each enemy within that. Take aim. Grants the ally hit chance on their next attack. This is based on officer's willpower, which I don't think I have a lot of, because I'm a sniper. I have 40, but it's still not very good. I mean, it's 14%. But usually voice of command is the best thing you can do. Target ally gains 2 morale. That's already that's already reason enough to take it. For 1 round, the officer ignores distance and line of sight when using the abilities on that ally. Yeah, this is my choice here, especially for the morale. And what do we have here? Oh, low offense. Makes sense, the officer is more of support. Bathed in glory. The noble and their allies gain a 4% bonus to hit chance against non-disposable enemies. This bonus is doubled against the enemy commander. This is based on fellowship plus int divided by 2. And later I see this being good. Right now, not really. Imperium Noble, God Emperor's Finest. The noble's damage dealt is increased by 15 plus the noble's morale minus enemy's morale %. Again, I'm wondering if, like, if I have 5 and the enemy has -5, that's a 10. I'm hoping. So minus, that's plus, 5, 5, 10, 15, 25% more damage. Not super reliable. Personal retinue. Allies within the noble's influence. How was this again? Is a parameter that determines the radius around the unit within which select abilities can affect other units. Typically, the base influence is equal to 2, but it can be changed. 2. Okay. Against disposable enemies, Trusted allies, reliability. The officer suffers minus 4% less damage for each ally adjacent to them. This is not reliable. I move around a lot. Support, combat morale, encouraging presence. Whenever the character ends their turn while adjacent to an ally, both gain 1 morale. I don't like the part about being adjacent, unless I have another sniper in the party, where I could put them together. Right now, it's a little bit unreliable. Commanding voice. Range of all non-attacking officer abilities increased by 6. This is probably fellowship bonus. This is very good. This is very, very good. It might not seem like it, but it is. It sucks when you want to give somebody an extra turn and you can't because of range. Personal oversight. If the officer granted an ally an extra turn, the target has plus 2 MP each turn. Hey, what? If the officer granted an ally an extra turn, the target has plus 2 MP each turn, not just on that turn, on each turn, and gains 1 morale at the start of each turn for the rest of combat. That is very good. I wonder if the plus 1 morale also affects extra turns. I doubt it. Tactical preparation. On the officer's turn, the cost of their first non-attacking ability is reduced by 1 AP. It is also very good. Right now we don't have a lot, so it's not that necessary, but very good. Morale. Combat morale cohesion. If the character increases the morale of 3 characters, themselves included, the character gains... Okay, wait, we gotta read this right. The character gains 2 extra morale and 4 MP. But what does this mean? I increase the morale of 3 characters, myself included. With a single spell? In a single turn? During the course of combat? Because right now I can see this being done by... Extra turn gives extra morale. I have the ability to lower the morale of somebody else and increasing mine, so it does also count. And then I would need voice of command. That, oh yeah, voice of command. So I would have 3. That's good, man. That's good. That's very good. That is very good. Not hard to do either. It's not hard to do either. Sorry, this is more of a talent and skill review, but it is important. Where are my skills? Here. Bring it down. Immediately grants an ally an extra turn. The target's ally damage dealt is increased by... But wait, I know I'm giving people morale when I'm using this. The ability huh? Wait. Wait. How does this work? Wait. I don't understand. Am I supposed to choose something right now? What? The attack deals 9% more damage against non-disposable units. I can just turn this on. Is that it? Oh, I can put this on whatever I want. And that's why I thought this costed... Wait. The ability costs 1 AP less if the noble's morale is greater by 10 or more than of any enemy within their... no. Within their influence sucks. That's why it's not even applied to anybody. And then Aura of Contempt. Oh man, I did not notice this. The noble reduces the target's morale by 1 and increases their own morale by 1. This is with Wicked Scorn. Yeah. Okay. And then we have this. Yeah, but I thought Bring It Down was giving people... I thought I was giving people morale with this. Okay, I'll test this out, and if it doesn't work, I can just load back and see what's up. I mean, I can just do this anyway, right? Costs 1 AP less if the noble's morale is greater by 10, then... I can just, like, do this. Doesn't matter. Dude, I've been missing out. I'm stupid. All abilities scale based on Fellowship, Intimidation divided by 10. $65. That's 6. 6. Pummel. For 1 round, targets defense... Oh, why have I not been using this, dude? Whenever Cog hits an enemy or covers attack, it gains 2% damage reduction for 1 round. Does this count? Oh, yeah. Wait. Oh, no, okay. And Ghastly Mutilation. If this attack kills an enemy, all enemies within 1 cell radius must pass a willpower test with 13 penalty or suffer 10% hit chance penalty for 1 round. That's fine. Wow, I did not know this, man. I did not know this. I feel so dumb right now. For 1 round, precision attacks against this unit gain 6% hit chance. It's on a sale. And Piercing Clarity. For 1 round, this unit's attacks ignore 6% of enemy defense. It makes sense to be on guidance. Necrotoxin. Enemies suffer a -13 penalty on skill tests for 1 round on an area attack. Ah, that's fire damage then. Okay. But Biswarium, reduces level of any... Ah, that's on the heal. Also makes sense. Field Surgery. This ability range is increased by 1 cell. If Epion ends her movement adjacent to any allies, she heals the ally. Oh my god, man! Why have I not been using this? Wait. Wait, I can't use it? Why? It has to be a movement ability, is that it? Ah, you little bitch. Okay. And scientific approach. All ability skill and Epion's intelligence bonus instead of other characteristics. It probably doesn't matter, right? Medicae. I'm guessing my Medicae is superior. Medicae, 65. Okay, so you gain nothing by doing these. This idiot. All ability scaling is based on Heimar's toughness bonus. Why would I want that? Ability range is increased by number of lock and load stacks. Does not affect personal abilities. And you have... Wait, what? You have on a single target attack? When attacking, Heimar gains weapons rate of fire % bonus damage reduction for 1 round. No! No. Put it there. You can put this there if you want. Rate of fire for all weapons is increased by 25%. Minimum of +1 for 1 round. That's... Can I put this... Nowhere. Okay. And finally my Psyker. Everything is done. At the start of its next turn, the target of the Psyker's psychic power must pass willpower test with... If failed, the enemy cannot target the Psyker with single target or a burst attack until the end of the turn's enemy. This is not super interesting. The target of the Psyker's psychic power. So I'm guessing it cannot be applied to an AoE. Yeah, it cannot. But it can be applied to this. My dude, this should have been here. If this ability is rhymed, on the Psyker's next turn it is rhymed again. This is what's over here, yeah. And then you have... This ability gains a Veil Degradation % chance to become rhymed. It's applied on Siphon Life. Now, the part that still confuses me is that rhyme is on the next turn. Right? Because if not, it made sense. It would make sense to put it here. So when I cast, it would immediately recast. Yeah, so we also want Veil Degradation high. Okay. Let's get back into action here. So voice of command, and I am gonna try. As much as I wanted commanding voice, I'm gonna try cohesion. Or is this too much gymnastics to get this to work? Increasing the morale of 3 characters in somewhat small range. Only to buff myself. It would still be very good. Yeah, I'm gonna go for commanding voice. I think this is just more useful overall, while this one would be more powerful if used, I think. Okay, Chirurgeon. Why does she have oh, she is a soldier, right? Dash. Dash is up to 3 cells in the selected direction. Does not provoke attacks of opportunity. Can move through allies and enemies, but not through obstacles. Very useful to go and heal people. Exploit surroundings. Until the start of the next turn, while the soldier is in cover, attacks made against them automatically hit their cover. Damage dealt with is increased by 50%. Ah. That's... Okay. It's good and bad. Revel in Slaughter. Until the end of their turn, the soldier deals 20 plus 2 times agility bonus % more range damage to enemies within the soldier's influence. That's a big change from Rogue Trader. It needs to be within the influence, so I'm thinking shotguns. I'll go for utility here with Dash. She's not really my main damage dealer here. Okay, a lot of stuff here. And something that's funny is that these talents are pretty much unique per archetype. Yeah, they are. Whoops, no, close. Experimental utilization. Epion's, this is specific to her. Ranged area attacks have a chance to hit any body part without aiming for any part in particular. They also have a chance to inflict with effects while doing so. I like this a lot. I like it a lot. Polite Refusal. If an enemy enters Epion's melee range, she automatically uses her Scalpel Claw Strike ability against that enemy for 0 AP. Huh? What is this? Additionally, she can use Slaughter Injection, Combat Surge. Oh, if Epion's left-hand slot is free, not occupied by a one- or two-handed weapon, she can use her Scalpel Claw to make a Courage and Scalpel Claw Strike. Raise her Scalpel Claw and hit an enemy within a 1-cell radius around her. One hit, the enemy suffers the Cut Tendon effect and takes Medicaid... Oh, that's very nice. 6 damage, in her case. Hit chance for attacks calculated using intelligence and weapon skill. This ability counts towards the attack limit per turn. Okay, come on, it makes sense. Okay. Interesting. Once per round only. Chosen target. Each time soldier's burst shot hits the same target, deals 3% more damage than the previous one. That's powerful, but not for her. That's for Aymar. Master Marksman can make attacks with a two-handed weapon ranged weapon while in melee range. That's also good if you want to make sure your flamethrower is always active. But Dash does something similar. Although it costs you AP. Right? Yeah, it costs you AP. Precision Fire. For each enemy hit by the soldier's ranged area attack, the damage dealt by the soldier's next area attack is increased by 5%. Okay. I wonder if this works with run and gun, where you shoot twice. Tactical Maneuvers Combat Run. For each cell the character moves through between the start and the end of their turn, they gain 1 to weapon skill and ballistic skill. This effect ends at the start of their next turn. Can start combat adjacent enemies. Holding positions. For 1 round, soldier gains 1 defense for each cell between the soldier's position at the start of the turn and the position at the end of it. Free movement. The character can't be immobilized and is immune to MP reduction from any source. Okay, that's a genetically good talent. Not a lot other than offense here. Support. Scrupulous. Medicaid kits cost -1 AP to use. That's useful. Healing provided by combat surgery. And Medicaid kits is increased by 6% for every MP unspent by Epion on the current turn. Medicaid. What is this? Ah, right. Man, if she can get a lot of MP, like if she has 10 MP, that's 60% heal. No, that's 60% increase, which is not really that much. Depends. It's useful. Self-surgery. Epion can apply her combat surgery and slaughter injection abilities to herself. These abilities cost 0 AP the first time she uses each of them in combat. Okay, so there's a lot to like. There is a lot to like. This might be useful for herself. Let's make her more useful to others and see how this goes. But I would like to have this one also, self-surgery. I'll do it like this and see how it goes. Time for my Psyker. We have Molten Beam already. This psychic power targets all units in the 5-cell line with a beam of searing flames, dealing 4 times willpower bonus plus targets levels of burning damage. All affected units must pass agility tests with a penalty or suffer 4 times veil degradation additional damage to their armor durability, so only to their armor. In my experience, this can be very cool. I have used this on Rogue Trader, which is different. I think it works the same way in terms of how we target the line. But the fact that it is a line makes it complicated to use at times. It's good. The damage is good though. But you need to be somewhat close, right? It's a 5-cell line. I don't know if it's a 5-cell line starting from you or if it's a 5-cell line starting from a specific range. Telekinetic Barrier. Until the start of the Psyker's next turn, the target unit gains percentage damage reduction and armor durability. Wait, isn't this the same? No. Isn't this what you have? It is. Okay. So you can also have it if I want it. And it's also unlimited range. Ah, okay. So these are the exact same thing as the Mystic. Okay. I'll try the offensive one just for fun. Okay, so what we have here. Offense, Blazing Mind. If the Psyker is burning, this is typically for melee. Well, not really. They deal levels of burning % more damage with psychic powers. If you can make yourself take very low damage from burning, it is very, very good. What is this? The damage dealt to armor is increased by 50%. I did not know about the increase to armor. Interesting. Burning Blood. Whenever the Psyker uses a psychic power, all enemies in the influence suffer damage based on veil degradation. The same effect triggers when a Psyker suffers damage from melee attacks, burning, or bleedings. Again, this is more of a melee thing. Burning Rage. Psyker suffers less burning damage and deals more damage with area attacks. Okay, so, yeah, these things are very hand in hand. Implicit Threat. If the Mystic uses psychic power while in cover, target's resistance and tenacity are reduced by willpower until the end of the Mystic's turn. I wish I had a better understanding of how this actually affects the game. Right now, I don't really have the feel for it. Inevitability. The Mystic's attacking psychic powers deals 7 plus willpower bonus % more damage from a distance of 6 cells or further. Kinetic Charge. Melee attacks and psychic powers deal more damage for every cell in a straight line between... Okay. Psychic Weapons Master. Force weapon attacks deal more damage. Telekinetic Echo. The same thing as the other one. If you assail somebody or inflict a negative effect... the enemy close to that target is not assailed, must pass a check or become assailed. Unstoppable Force, the Psyker deals more damage psychic powers and solid projectile weapons. Okay, so I need to have some idea of how much this would be. It's %, so not that good at the start, again. So willpower and int. Willpower and int for you. Willpower would be 6 plus 6, that's 12. This guy has some high stats. So it would be 3 plus 6 plus 6, so that's 15%. It's only 15%. It's not terrible, but it's not super good. This is the same thing as our Mystic works. Yep. This is not. Saturating Flame. At the start of their turn, the Psyker gains 1 MP and 1 defense for every burning unit up to a maximum of the current Veil Degradation. Goddamn Veil Degradation. Shield of Suffering. Whenever the Psyker inflicts a common negative effect or a single effect on the enemy, the Psyker gains attackable defense. It's the same thing as the other guy has. Support. Attack debuff. Easy Prey. Allies get 11 bonus to skill tests against enemies affected by suppression. Hey, that's cool. And we apply suppression to everybody hit by our stuff. Agility. It's kind of weird. Evil Taunt. Whenever the character successfully defends against an enemy attack or it misses, they inflict suppression on the attacker. To count as a miss, a burst attack must miss with at least rate of fire divided by 2 shots. Feebleness. Suppression effect also applies to damage dealt by the character. This is a percentage penalty to hit chance. It would also apply to damage. Good, but not for right now. Whispers of the Immaterium, Sanctioned Pyromancer. Every upgrade of Intelligence, Lore Warp, increases all other Intelligence Lore skills by 5. All other Intelligence Lore skills upgrade Intelligence Lore Warp by 5. That could be interesting. Morale. Heart of Flame. If the Psyker has 5 plus levels of Burning divided by 2 levels of... If the Psyker has 5 plus levels of Burning divided by 2 levels of Burning or more at the start of their turn, they gain 2 morale and 1 AP. I'm not being able to... If the Psyker has 5... Okay, so if we have 0, we would have 2.5. If we have... Sometimes I'm very dumb. Let's say I have 1 level of burning. If I have 5 plus 1, that's 6. But the division is being applied to the other one. Let's say I have 2 levels of burning. 5 plus 2 divided by 2, that's 5 plus 1, 6. If I have 6 levels of burning or more... Okay, so I don't want this right now. Soul Bonds... Veil Degradation is changed. This, okay. Psychic. Immaterium Currents. At the start of the Mystic's turn, they gain 1 AP if Veil Degradation is 12 or more. Okay. Again, it's good. I'm just not sure if it's necessary at this stage. Otherworldly Gaze. The Psyker's psychic powers with a range of 2 or more cells have their range increased by this. This I like a lot for him. Sanctioned Pyromancer, Elegy of Flame. If Veil Degradation is 15 or higher, Rhymes Unspoken can be reapplied to spells that were already rhymed by this ability in combat. Doing so increases Veil Degradation by 2. Ode to the Materium. Psychic powers rhymed by the verse Unleashed. If Rhymes Unspoken was not used in the previous turn and the Psyker's Veil Degradation is 10 or higher, he uses a random non-psychic power on a random eligible target at the start of his next turn. Is this why I was getting the flame AoE cast sometimes? It might be. It might be. Okay, so psychic powers rhyme by this, instead reduced by 2. Strict Poetic Meter. Chance of triggering psychic phenomena or perils of the warp is reduced by 9% for all physical psychic abilities used by the Sanctioned Pyromancer. Okay. I think I like this. Range has been a problem. Range has been a problem. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna go for this. Getting more range. This could be interesting, but again, it depends on veil degradation. I'm not really even sure how Rhyme works that well at this point. Yeah, I'll go for more range on my spells. Ogrin! We have Forceful Strike. The war's melee attacks deal 20% more damage to the enemy armor. Warrior's melee attacks cost 1 more AP. Huh? I think this is something this might be a toggle ability. Yeah, probably. Probably. Yeah. This is a toggle ability. 20 plus 2 times strength bonus. How is this 20? Six. Be 32. To enemy armor only. Cost 1 more. The warrior's melee attacks deal 12% more damage. This is based on strength. However, targets of the warrior's attacks will perform a counter attack. I do not like that at all. At all. Slash. The warrior dashes through a target to the cell on its opposite side, making an attack against it that deals... It's based on agility. What is CP? I don't know what CP is. Charge points? Or I don't know. What is your agility? I'm guessing very low. 30. It's just a basic stat. Sworn enemy. I always pick this on Rogue Trader. The warrior marks an enemy. Until the start of the warrior's next turn, they gain 2 times toughness bonus defense against that enemy's attacks and deal 2 plus strength bonus more damage to that enemy. That's a flat bonus. That is a flat bonus. This is quite good. But it is single target. It is single target. Now with the Ogren, I'm typically using something like Endure, Smash, and a hit. So that's at least 3 AP. Right? So if I want to activate Forceful Strike, I can get... Sure, I can get one attack deal 20% more damage, but it's not very interesting. I don't want this at all. I'll go for Sworn Enemy here. This is going to be nice to handle some powerful enemies and just if I'm feeling threatened by something. I like this a lot. It's similar to what we have in Rogue Trader, and I still like it. Offense. Combat Readiness. The warrior's first melee attack on their turn except charge does not spend MP. Medium. Heavy armor, heavy blow. The character's melee damage is increased by armor damage reduction divided by 2%. And how does this work? I have 19% damage reduction. So wait. So I have 19, let's say 18, that's going to be 9%. So it could give me a passive 9% bonus to damage. This would just straight up be better, I think. Ogren, Brute Rampage. Cog deals 100% damage to cover. When cover is destroyed, all enemies within 1 cell radius around that cover must pass an agility test or suffer random critical effect to their arms, legs, or body. This is very fun. I'm not gonna say it's good. It depends a lot on the combat situation, but it's fun. Bulgrin's Ram. Cog can move through cells occupied by enemies smaller than him, dealing 12 damage to them. He cannot finish his turn on an occupied cell. I don't know how this works. It feels like I have to walk through them. But if I walk through them, this means I would get attack opportunity. Which I don't think I want at this stage. Slaughter. 3 more... Okay, again, a flat damage increase. 3 more damage with melee attacks. This is fun. I'll go for the static damage here. Well, let's see the rest. Armor Expert. During the first round of the combat, damage dealt to the warrior's armor is reduced by half. Good. The warrior automatically passes the first test in combat. Hand-to-hand expert, we gain 5 defense against melee attacks. I might actually prefer this because he's going to be more a defensive character. Okay, I like this. Impregnable defense, we gain 3 defense. In general. Indestructible shell, targets maximum armor ability is increased by 31%. What is this really? It's just my armor? Is it just my armor? Yes, it is. Okay. So for right now, I would say not that interesting. But I do like this one here. This is for everything, but I would be more concerned about melee, I think. By your side. All enemies within Cog's influence suffer a suffer a penalty to their willpower metal. Whenever they fail a metal test, they suffer 1 morale. It depends on what affects metal tests. Ogren, get behind me. Whenever Cog starts his turn with an ally within his influence, he gains 2 morale and 32 willpower metal. I like this because I was kind of thinking of having my Kyrgen always close by, using him for cover. This is cool. I think I will prefer this for right now. Or do I just go for more there? I don't even know exactly how defense works. That's my problem. I don't know how this works. I'll try it and we'll see. This is based on weapon score, skill. This is based on damage reduction. Kind of depends on what we can increase first, but... Okay, we'll go like this. And finally, this guy here. We have dash, we have exploit. Don't like it. Until the turn... Within the soldier's influence. This is all crap. So dash. Okay. Oh, this is new. Agility bonus times rate of fire. Overdrive. Character's burst attacks gain 25% rate of fire. That's actually... This is good. Grenade for a rainy day. Every time he throws a grenade, a frag grenade appears in the same slot. The what? So you can always just keep throwing grenades over and over and over again? Okay. Each time the soldier's burst shot hits the same target, deals 5% more than the previous one. Okay, yeah, we know that. I'm thinking overdrive just to have more shots. Defense while wielding a heavy hand weapon and having no cover. This is based on ballistic skill. Start of his turn, he regains wounds equal to 38% of the damage he's taken over the round. If he is about to fall unconscious to the damage effects, he remains in combat while with 1 wound. Holding positions, no. Support. Burst fire interdiction. If a target is hit by rate of fire, blah blah blah, or more shots from a burst attack, they must pass a strength test. Or become immobilized. And morale. Chance to ignore penalties to morale equal to his local node level. Whenever the penalty is ignored, he gains 2 morale instead. Okay. It really depends on how this works, honestly. I don't know what this means, ignoring penalties to morale. How does this affect like a... How does me shooting a burst attack is affected by morale of the enemy? I don't know. Okay. I'm gonna go for overdrive. We're kind of just using him as burst fire, so... Sure. Okay, so that's our characters here leveled up, and that's pretty much the entire video, right? But we did go through a lot of different things I didn't even know existed. I think one of my main... I can't see it now. I think one of the main improvements I saw was the preview of the character level ups as they go along. You know, when you're gonna get a skill level, when you're gonna get something like that. Rogue Trader kinda has it in that circular thing, but I don't think it's as good. So I do like that. I do wish that when that little tab is open, we could mouse over and see what would be the available options. I would like to have that. Other than that, I like the fact they're grouping stuff. I kind of like the fact that they are no longer suggesting a specific talent, but are instead suggesting a specific section. Like, don't take this talent like you had in Rogue Trader, but focus more on support or focus more on survivability, stuff like that. I kind of like that. But yeah, not much else to say, I think. Level ups are done. I think the experience was nice. There's still a lot to go through. It can be very overwhelming. And that's also why this video is this duration, and we only went over the level ups. Grakta, I cannot speak to you? I can speak to you. Might as well just do this before we finish. I can say I did something else other than level up. So if I do something useful, you're gonna be happy. Why do you want an Ogren? Okay. We got a keyring. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Immune to immobilization. Sure. Alrighty. So, we have a ring, which doesn't seem to do anything. Immune to immobilization, I would like to put it on... Oh, you goddammit, Xenos. Let's say on you. You're probably the more important one. Now, this gives armor for each burning unit. It should really be on... let me guess. Let me guess. Can't be used. Okay. Yeah, 60 or 65 is the same thing. It only counts the bonus, so I'm gonna have this here. Targets of voice of command are gonna get +1 morale. +1 morale. That's gonna be very good. And what is this? Plasma and melter. I don't use it. This is cool, but it loses out the charge. I haven't actually been using charge all that much, have I? But I still... Well, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna start using the Boots of Masochism, and if I find myself feeling like charge is being a hindrance because of the cost, I'm gonna swap it back. Okay, we have nothing new for you. We have nothing really new for you either. Okay, so I think I want to replenish some of this stuff. Oh, it auto-replenished? Because I use these things. Yeah, you're gonna have this as well. You are gonna have this as well. And you are gonna have this as well. Actually, not that. You can have this. Fellowship can go to... I don't think anybody really benefits from it besides my character. But I can give it to somebody. You can take it. Frag grenades. Well, this disrupts concentration, actually. Yeah, I want you to have this. You have one. It's more useful to break concentration than to set people on fire, I think. Okay, so this is our level up, this is our new skill selection. I would like to get rid of these injuries here. Can I remove it with this? No. Okay, well, we'll see. Next up, where I would like to go... We have to take care of this here for the Kroot. This is, I think, also for the Kroot, yup. He seeks an opponent for the Awakened One. So the Zenith may prove himself during the coming ritual. The Ogren type subspecies is... Oh! We have the guy that we sent from the Baron camp or the Baron den to somewhere else. Maybe I can direct him over here. That could be interesting. And I'm just missing a place imbued with emanations. Wait, did my on the trail thing go away? We have a lot of new stuff though. Well, we have some new stuff. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna end this here. I was looking forward to seeing some more stuff, but I do not have any more time today. As always, my friends, I want to thank you all for being here with me on the channel, watching some Dark Heresy. I hope this video was at least helpful and useful, so you can get to know how the level up process goes, what kind of skills and abilities you can expect for at least these companions right here. And in the next one, we're hopefully gonna start moving on and getting some more quests out of the way. As always, questions, suggestions, anything at all, leave a comment below. If you are enjoying the content, consider subscribing for more. Many more reviews coming out soon. It is also a free and easy way to support the channel. I hope to see you all in the next one, and until then, stay safe everyone.